All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Sean. I am a guitar player for the past 15 years, and I am looking for a way of teaching people guitar in a new way, in my own way. And part of the reason I'm doing this is also because it's a selfish reason, is that I want to get better at guitar, and I want to see how I can articulate what I know into something that might be beneficial for other people. YouTube and the general online sharing communities have given me a lot in the way of guitar, and I've internalized and processed a lot. I mean, huge shout out to Tomo Fujita music, Paul David's music is Win, all Mary Spender, all of these. I could keep going. Rick Beato, Chris Buck. I mean, Tim Pierce. I don't want to leave any names out, but all of these people have contributed to my learning guitar. So without getting too far into it, I want to start with a really simple lesson. And it's about playing each note with joy. So I'm going to play a G note on the D string. Now, you might not be able to hear that, so let me raise the volume a little bit. So check this out. There's that harmonic frequency right there. But what's interesting is if I play an, how do I say this, a C note, that frequency is a little bit further, closer to this way. You see that? So every note has like an optimal place, not just to play it with your left hand, but an optimal place to pick it with your right hand. It's something I've noticed in the great players like Clapton and Robben Ford. I've just paid attention to their playing, and they're always moving. If you watch Robben Ford, he's doing like this kind of dance with his hand a lot of the time, which I think is how he gets his sound. But it affects your rhythm too. So I'm going to just demonstrate playing that G note with joy. I'm going to work up to that harmonic. Now I'm going to start oscillating between an F and a G. I hit a wrong note, but is that really a wrong note? Technically it's an augmented triad, but without getting ahead of myself. So that's the first lesson, is just one note. And just experimenting with the rhythm. And I worked my way up to making it more complex. And that's just how I learned to play. Like, I learned by listening to, like, Heartbreak Hotel. Just playing that vocal melody and almost kind of giving it just that rhythm. And a vocal teacher named Alexis Joy told me you should be able to play anything without accompaniment. Vocally, you should be able to sing without accompaniment. And guitar is its own accompaniment, right? You play one note, and that kind of accompanies itself, right? But if you can make playing one note at a time sound interesting, I think that's the best way to foundationally set yourself up for success in the long term. Because if you're playing in a band, maybe there's a horn section, there's a bass player, there's a keys, there's a drum, there's maybe one other guitar player or two other guitar players. even if you don't know music theory, if you can train your ear to say, okay, they're playing, this like 2-5-1 in G where it goes. And then there's a modulation. Eventually you can start with something simple and you can progress. So I want to, so playing one note with joy, and you can do that really simply. Like, as somebody who's been playing for 15 years, I'm going to try and recreate what I sounded like as an ultimate beginner, but while still playing precisely. That was actually one of the first original tunes that I ever composed on guitar, but it was just playing around with rhythm. Music is about harmony, rhythm, and melody, but I can actually break it down to just one thing, and that's rhythm. It's all rhythm. Mom, talk to you later. She texted me. Music is all about rhythm. Because think about it, if you're playing an A at 440 hertz, hertz is just a way of describing cycles of frequency per minute. So that's a rhythm. 440, that's a rhythm. And so what you're doing is you're combining all of these different rhythms, these discrete points of rhythm on the neck. So that has its own frequency of rhythm, and so does that. And if you think in music in terms of breaking everything down to just rhythm and interplays of different rhythms dancing with each other, if you think of it like a dance, then that's music. So I just did this whole chromatic thing. Probably not the best sounding thing to a lot of people's ears, but it just kind of goes to show, it's like, why don't any of those, why maybe does that not work? Knowing what doesn't work is just as important as knowing what does work. And you kind of have to explore, like you have to start with one note and figuring out what if you're going to start incorporating other strings after you start playing one note at a time, what sounds best? It doesn't sound bad, but if I do this, there's actually overtones in that. It sounds like complete and oddly stable, but there's still something missing. That sounds interesting. It still doesn't sound complete, and then that sounds mysterious, and then, ooh, just want to bend up to that. So that rhythm, I'm making the rhythms unite. That's what playing in unison is. It's a All right. I hope that gives some basic beginners something to think about. Make one note work. Make 3 notes work. Make 2 notes work. But start small. Start by making one note work. Until next time, guys, this was Sean Kent Music, coming at you live from the bedroom. Enjoy.